All right, Miles, the New Orleans Saints. Holy smokes, what a game. They win 39-32 over the Seattle Seahawks. Look, this is a Saints team that was really banged up. They're obviously without Jameis Winston, without Michael Thomas. Injuries are an issue. Good news is Alvin Kamara is back, and he's made a huge impact. It's an incredible back and forth game that the Saints needed to make a win, and they got to win. But there's another guy who really jumped out and had a massive day. I know you want to talk about. Before I hand it off to you, Saints fans, we want to hear from you in the comment section below. Give us your MVP of this incredible 39-32 victory. Look, the Seattle Seahawks, they're a very spry team. They made a lot of plays. They're 2-2. They've done a lot of good things. So this was not an easy win. This was not going to be an easy win. The Saints got it done. We want to hear who your MVP is in the comment section below. But Miles, give me your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, Nick, if you look at the stat sheet, it's pretty easy to look. You look at a guy like Alvin Kamara, 23 carries, 103 yards, and then he got 6 catches for 91 yards, and you think, easy, best player on the field today.
Great to have him back. Great to have him back.
But that's not true, Nick. That wasn't the best player on the field today. You look at a guy like Taysom Hill, 9 carries, 112 yards, 3 touchdowns. He broke a long one for 60, and he threw a pass, 1 of 1 for 22 yards and a touchdown. He was incredible. Obviously, he had perfect passer rating because only 1 pass for a touchdown. Can't really get much better than that. But 9 carries for 112 yards and 3 touchdowns. Taysom Hill in that Wildcat gadget role, when you don't put the game on his shoulders and he's just there kind of have fun, he's unstoppable. I think it's one of the best Wildcat offenses I've ever seen. Like whenever he takes a snap from under center and just runs, he's so incredible to watch play. Just don't let him, throw the ball too much. And he is so good. He's such a player, and Saints are really fun to watch. And it's almost like the Saints, they've been doing better offensively without Jameis. Like they're not trying to force the ball in the passing game so much. I think they should try when Jameis comes back to, run more Wildcats, see how this rushing attack can help complement. And obviously, like you said, Kamara's back. That's a big, big help as well. But this Saints team, very impressive against a Seahawks team who's put up a ton of points lately. Obviously, they put up a ton of points today, but you're able to go into a shootout with them and come out on top. So big win today for the Saints.
Yeah, and this game, obviously, you give up 32 points defensively. You're like, hey, what did we do wrong? But the reality was it was just a couple big plays, right? Because if you look at in terms of like first downs and yardage, the Saints really control the flow of the game, time of possession, things like that. On third down, this is the crazy part. On third and fourth down, the Seattle Seahawks were 1 for 10. I've never seen a team score 32 points in a game with those kind of numbers. That tells you how much the Seahawks relied on big plays and really how dominant the New Orleans Saints defense was outside of those handful of big runs and a couple of big plays. And Lockett and Metcalf made a couple really big plays. If they can clean those up, the Saints can be a lot better on defense. I'm sure they're going to head that way. But I really look at the return of Alvin Kamara because I think just having that steady influence on offense, just a guy you can give the football to in the running game or give him screens or design passes in the throwing game, that just opens things up for guys like Taysom Hill because it gives defensive coordinators and opposing coaches something else to game plan for. I think that was one of the problems last year at times with Taysom Hill because when Kamara was hurt last year, like teams could just focus on Hill. And, if you can kind of like with Tim Tebow a few years ago, if you could come up with a game plan to limit him, you can do damage on guys like that. But now that Kamara is back, coaches have to rely on him or focus on him. Hey, how we're going to guard him. He's going to line up all over the place. He's going to go in motion. He's going to do so many things. That takes a lot of defensive coordinators' time. And it takes time that they're using on Kamara, they can't use on Hill. And we saw the rewards of that this week against the Seattle Seahawks because Hill was absolutely ridiculously good. I mean, he obviously his numbers are off the charts, and give a lot of credit to offensive coordinator Carmichael because he came up with one heck of a game plan for pretty much a must win for the New Orleans Saints team to get back to 2-3 and really get, right now they're one game out of it in the division. So this was a huge win that they needed to get, and credit to that offense, and they got it done.
Yeah, and we've been giving him props all season. We knew he had it in him to pioneer a great offense like this for the Saints team. But Nick, I want to reiterate your point a little bit more, and let's go through the stat sheet of the Seahawks. And like you say, big plays where the Saints defense struggle. And you look, Kenneth Walker, longest run of the day, 69 yards, a huge 69-yard run. Rashad Penny, 32-yard run. You go to the passing department, Tyler Lockett got that big 40-yard touchdown. DK Metcalf, a 50-yard play. Noah Fant, a 32-yard catch. Yeah. So just huge chunk plays that probably set them up into situations and they converted on scoring there. But like you said, overall, the Saints defense, who has been known this season to be a pretty dominant defense, they did good. It's just, like I said, like, what is that, 5 big 30
Yeah.
plus yard plays that kind of set the Seahawks up in ability to convert into touchdowns and keep the game close the whole time. But overall, Saints not so bad. And a lot of players are starting to show up a little bit. Matthew found his way onto the stat sheet. I know he's kind of been struggling a little bit early on in the season. And then, Werner really has been stepping it up all year. So exciting to watch him play as well. But I want to see this team grow. I want to see them move. And you kind of got to get Jameis back to see what's going on. Because Andy Dalton, 16 of 24 for 187, a touchdown, a pick. It's not bad. It can obviously manage the game to win when you have
Yeah.
such a lethal rushing attack. But you got to put up more numbers in the passing department to win big games. So I'm excited to see what happens when Jameis comes back. I'm excited to find this Saints offense finally like kind of finding their groove.
Oh yeah, especially when Thomas comes back, Landry could make an impact. There's rumors Odell Beckham is even sniffing around. So once the cavalry kind of returns for this offense, if they can score 39 points with even some big pieces missing, if they kind of found their mojo, kind of their model here today, then once those pieces come together, they could be an elite offense. And their defense, like you said, has the potential. Just clean up those big plays. But the good news for the Saints is finally they got back on the winning side of things. Now they just need to keep that trend up moving forward the rest of the year.